I have to be honest with you about something. I set eyeliner aside for almost 2 years, not because I stopped caring about how I looked, but because every time I used it, something felt slightly off. The line would be there in the morning and half gone by lunch, or I'd apply it the same way I always had, step back from the mirror, and instead of looking more defined, my eyes just looked heavier, smaller, like the liner was working against me rather than for me. I thought it was my technique. I tried steadier hands, different angles, thinner lines. I thought maybe it was the products, so I kept buying new ones. And honestly, I thought maybe it was just something I had to accept. That eyeliner was a young woman's tool, and my eyes had moved past the point where it was going to do what I wanted it to do. I was wrong about all of it, and I want to show you exactly why, and exactly what changed, because what I've found over the past several months, after genuinely going back to the beginning and rethinking the whole thing, the products, the placement, the purpose, has given me back something I didn't realize I'd quietly given up, and I think it might do the same for you. Before I show you the products and walk you through the technique, I want to spend just 2 minutes on something that made everything else click for me. Because once I understood this, the product choices and the placement decisions stopped feeling like guesswork. Here's what nobody told me. The eye itself changes. Not just the skin around it. The actual architecture of the eye area shifts after 60. The eyelid has less space than it used to. The brow bone sits a little lower. The outer corner of the eye may angle slightly downward. The lash line, which used to be this dense, dark, naturally defining edge, becomes sparser, with small gaps of pale skin visible between the roots. That last part is the one that quietly undoes so many liner looks on mature eyes. You apply your liner carefully, you think it looks fine, and then you step into natural light and something just isn't connecting. What you're seeing is that strip of pale skin along your lash root, sitting between your lashes and your liner, and it creates a gap that breaks the definition completely. It's not the liner's fault. It's just something that needs a specific solution, and I'm going to show you that solution today. The other thing worth knowing is that the skin texture around the eye changes in a way that affects how liner performs. Softer, drier, more textured skin doesn't grip traditional pencil liner the same way it used to. Formulas that once stayed put now migrate. Lines that once held their shape now feather. This isn't about application skill. It's about using formulas that are actually designed to work with mature skin rather than simply enduring it. Once I understood those two things, the lash gap and the formula mismatch, everything else started making sense. So let me show you what I've been using. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give you more than one option because I know some of you prefer a pencil and some of you are more comfortable with shadow, and both are genuinely excellent choices depending on your eye and your comfort level. I want you to leave here with something you'll actually use, not just something that sounds impressive. The first product is a fine-tip waterproof gel liner pencil. I'm specifically talking about the kind that has a gel formula inside a pencil casing, so it goes on with the ease of a pencil but sets like a gel. It doesn't drag. It doesn't require pressure. You don't have to fight it or work it into place, which matters because dragging and pressure on the lid area is exactly what causes smearing and creasing later. The one I've been reaching for is the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal pencil, and I've been using it in a shade called Eye Chestnut, which is a deep, warm brown rather than black. I'll talk about the color choice in a moment because that matters more than most people realize. When you first pick this up, sharpen it. Not to a hard point. The formula is too rich for that and it doesn't need to be, but just enough to get a clean, defined tip. Then rest your elbow on your vanity or the edge of your sink. That stability changes everything. You're not trying to hold your arm steady in midair. You have a solid base, and your liner hand becomes an extension of that. Now, here's the technique, and I want to be specific because the placement is everything. Start at the outer third of your upper lash line, not the inner corner, the outer third. Place the tip of the pencil directly at the base of the lashes, right where the skin meets the root, and draw a fine line inward. Short strokes rather than one long sweep. Think of it as connecting the dots between your lash roots rather than drawing a line on top of them. You want the liner to live in that space, filling those small gaps between lashes, not floating above it. Move from the outer third toward the center of the eye. As you get to the inner third, let the line become almost nothing, just a whisper of color that fades out before you reach the inner corner. That fade is intentional. It keeps the inner corner open and bright, which visually opens the entire eye. Now, and this is the step most tutorials skip, go back to that outer third and press the pencil directly into the lash root. Not dragging, just pressing gently into each small gap you can see. This is what fills in the pale strip I mentioned earlier. This is what makes the lash line read as full and dense even when the lashes themselves have thinned. The difference when you do this and when you don't do this is not subtle. I looked at myself in the mirror the first time I did it properly and genuinely said something out loud. Now I have to talk about color because this is where I made a mistake for years, and it's where I see a lot of women make the same one. I used black. I used it because it was what I'd always used. It felt definitive. It felt like it was doing something. But on mature skin, particularly when the hair has gone silver or grey or white, or when the skin has lightened and softened over time, black liner creates a contrast that reads as harsh rather than dramatic. It competes with the eye rather than framing it. And on a sparse or mature lash line, a hard black edge actually draws more attention to what isn't there than to what is. Deep warm brown, espresso, chestnut, dark mocha, does something different. It defines just as clearly, but it does it in a way that looks like your eyes always looked this good, rather than looking like you drew a line on your face. It has warmth. It works with your skin rather than against it. If you have blue or green eyes, plum is extraordinary. It makes blue eyes look genuinely luminous in a way that I find difficult to describe until you try it, and then you'll understand immediately. A deep berry or dark grape liner in that same gel pencil format, placed exactly where I described, and blue eyes will read across a room. For brown and dark eyes, navy or teal creates a brightness that's nothing short of striking. It creates contrast differently than black does. It reflects light rather than absorbing it, and the eye looks alive and present rather than just defined. If you're someone who has struggled with pencil liner migrating or smearing no matter what you try, I want you to know that there's another option that I have genuinely come to love. And in some ways, it's even more forgiving than pencil. Eyeshadow applied as liner. I know, it might sound like a workaround. It's actually a technique that delivers results most pencils can't match on mature skin, for one very specific reason. Powder doesn't migrate into fine lines the way cream and gel formulas can. It sits on top of the texture rather than settling into it. You'll need a fine angled brush, a small one, about the width of your lash line, and a matte eyeshadow in whatever shade works for you. I use a matte dark taupe or a deep matte brown. I wet the brush slightly before I pick up the shadow, just a tiny bit of water or setting spray, and that turns the shadow into something with the intensity of liner and the softness of powder. Apply it exactly as I described with the pencil. Outer third first, pressing into the lash root, then feathering inward and fading at the inner corner. The result is slightly softer at the edges than pencil liner, which on mature skin often looks more natural and more polished rather than less. And here's something I want you to consider. If the shadow liner feels too soft once you've applied it, you can go over it with a gel pencil on just the outer third of the lash line, where you want the most intensity, and blend the two together. You get precision where you want it, and softness everywhere else. That combination is genuinely beautiful. I want to stop here for a second and ask you something, because I'm genuinely curious. Has eyeliner been something you've stayed with all these years, or is this a tool you quietly set aside at some point? If you did set it aside, I'd love to know in the comments what made you feel like it stopped working, because I hear this so often, and every time someone describes it, I recognize exactly what they're talking about. And I also know there's almost always a specific, fixable reason. Tell me below. I read everything. Now I want to talk about the lower eye, because this is where technique shifts the most dramatically from what most of us were taught. The classic approach was to line the lower waterline in dark pencil, all the way across, match the top, frame the whole eye, and on a younger eye with a full lash line and firm skin underneath, it could look intentional and beautiful. On a mature eye, lining the lower waterline in dark pencil does something we don't want. It closes the eye down. It creates a heaviness along the lower rim that reads as shadow rather than definition. And it can make the whites of the eyes look less bright, which has the effect of making the whole face look more tired rather than more made up. What I do instead, and I want you to try this even if you're skeptical, because the before and after is dramatic, is use a flesh-toned or nude liner on the lower waterline, not the skin underneath the eye, the actual waterline, the inner rim of the lower lid. Charlotte Tilbury makes one I love called Nude Pink. NYX has a nude pencil for the waterline that performs beautifully and costs a fraction of the price. What this does is make the white of the eye read as larger. It reduces any redness or pinkness in the waterline that naturally develops with age. It makes the eye look open, rested and present, as if you've had 8 hours of sleep and good light to wake up in. If you want some definition below the lower lashes, just a suggestion of frame without closing the eye down, take a small brush and place a very soft matte taupe or matte brown shadow just underneath the lower lash line. Not in the waterline, just beneath the lashes on the outer half of the eye. It adds depth and dimension without drawing the eye downward. If you're not already part of this community, I'd love for you to subscribe before you go. What we talk about here isn't about following trends for the sake of them. It's about understanding what actually works for the face you have right now and feeling genuinely good in it. If that sounds like where you want to spend your time, there's a subscribe button right below this video, and it would mean a lot to have you here. Now, one more thing. This is the piece I almost left out, but it's the one I keep coming back to when I think about what actually made the biggest difference in my own mirror: the inner corner. Most liner tutorials skip this or treat it as optional. I'm here to tell you it is not optional. What you do, or don't do, in the inner corner of the eye affects the entire look. After you've done everything I described, the lash root filling along the upper lid, the nude waterline liner on the lower rim, the soft shadow beneath the lower lashes, go back to your inner corner. Take the smallest amount of a shimmery champagne or warm ivory eyeshadow on your fingertip, or a small brush, and press it gently into the very inner corner of the eye. Just that tiny V-shaped space where the upper and lower lids meet. What this does is reflect light inward, which creates the optical impression that the eye is more open, more awake, and more lifted than it actually is. It makes the eye look like it has a natural light source behind it. And on days when you're tired, when the light is flat, when you're in a photo and you want your eyes to show up, this is the step that makes that happen. It takes about 4 seconds. Do not skip it. Before I let you go, I want to say one thing about all of this that has nothing to do with technique. I spent a long time thinking that what I was experiencing with eyeliner, the smearing, the disappearing, the results that didn't feel like me, meant that I had somehow aged out of being able to wear it well, that the tools belonged to a different version of myself, and that the current version of me just had to find something else to work with. That turned out not to be true. The tools needed to change. The technique needed to catch up with where I actually am. And when it did, when I found the right formula, placed it in the right spot, and stopped fighting against what my eyes actually look like now, the result was more me than anything I'd done in years. Not younger, not different, more present, more defined, more alive in my own face. That's what I want for you when you step away from the mirror tomorrow morning. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you know someone who has been quietly struggling with the same eyeliner frustrations, who set it aside and hasn't quite found her way back to it, please share this video with her, not because the channel needs the views, but because this information genuinely changed something for me, and I think it might do the same for her. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We have so much more to talk about. Color, silhouette, building a wardrobe that actually fits who you are right now, and I would love to have you with us for all of it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.